Okay, hi. Afternoon. Let you know about me first, then after that I want to know about you, okay? Because you guys are easily the youngest audience I've ever spoken to.
They are the future.
Yeah. Okay, today is a Saturday afternoon. What are you guys doing here? You should be dating, watching movies and all that, right? Okay, give you guys a round of applause for being here. Successful people do things. Okay, you judge a successful person by what they do beyond their regular hours, not during their work or study hours. So the fact that you are using your own precious dating or whatever time to come here and learn, that says a lot about you. Okay? My name is Steve Lim. I'm the Chief Learning Officer for Affin Hwang Asset Management. Affin Hwang Asset Management is an asset manager. Okay, what is an asset manager? Do you know? You give me the money, I manage for you. I make money for you. Okay? So it's a cool job. So what do I do with the money? We invest in stocks, as in shares, bonds, fixed income, or invest in other things, okay, to make money for you. And we are, I think, at this juncture, we're probably the 4th largest in Malaysia. How much money do we manage? Take a guess. 1 billion. 2.4 billion. You did some research on it. What did you just say? Yeah. Why did you say 30 billion? You just read or what? What is your name? Sean is spot on. We are managing 30 billion. Yeah, we are managing 30 billion today. Okay, how many zeros are there behind the B? No, 9. Yeah, 8 zeros, correct. 8 zeros. So it's 30 followed by 8 zeros. So that's a lot of money. Okay? And we are the fastest growing fund manager in Malaysia. We were just managing 20 million about 13 years ago. Okay, and today we are managing 30. You may ask, am I qualified to speak to you about financial management, personal finance, and all that, right? Okay, I have a CFA. I've done my conversion of CFP, Certified Financial Planner. CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. Okay, so all these are all financial stuff. I personally have done a lot of personal finance, financial management on myself and my family. So what I'm sharing with you guys today is not so much from textbook or anything, but from a very interesting book. Okay, I'm not the author of this book and I'm not selling books today. Okay? I'm not here to sell a book. When you see this thing, you probably wonder, is this a book club I'm promoting? No. Right? Somebody recommended this book to me many years ago. I read it, it's very thin. Okay? I just got my son to read it a few weeks ago. Okay, it's very thin. If you have time, go to the bookstore, get a copy for yourself. But what I'm going to tell you today, we're going to share with you today, is pretty much the salient features, the very important points out of this book. Okay? On this matter, I think I'm maybe qualified to speak on this matter. Okay, so I hope you can get some pointers out of it. Okay, out of today's session. You may have gone through many sessions in school to learn about finance, learn about accounting, or your parents talk to you about money. But I personally think the Malaysian education system is a little bit short in terms of teaching individuals like us to manage our own money. Okay, it's very, very short. That part, I don't think you have a course. Even in university, there is no course that is termed personal financial planning or something like that. I just came across the Ta College. What is it called now? Ta University College. They have something called personal financial management in their curriculum. Okay, that's the first time I'm seeing it. Okay. Yeah. So you know about me. I just want to know very quickly about you, 3 things. Okay, I want to know your name, I want to know whether you're studying or working, and where. And I want to know how many times you go to the ATM in a month. Average. Average. Can we start with Sean? Okay, this is not, you guys probably know each other. It's not for you to know each other, but for me to know you. So that when I present, when I train, I know what to say and what not to say. Okay, what you need to know.
So I study at LC International School.
Okay.
That's around Snapbelow.
Okay.
Small international school.
Oh, ELC. Okay.
For ATM, I go maybe once a month.
Once a month. Okay. SMK is a secondary school. Preschool. PU, is it? Oh, okay, okay. Okay. So do you have a bank card? You go to the ATM? You don't know? Okay. Okay. What course did you do? Animation, computer graphics. Oh, okay. Cartoonist, really. Average. Okay, countless times. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. September. Where are you going? Which university? Okay. Yeah. 2 to 3 times. 2, 3 times. Okay. Lily. Fiona? Okay.
So I'm kind of like, I'm not financially minded.
Yeah.
So my mom tried to control me.
That's really good.
She actually,
Good mom.
my parents actually took off my ATM card and credit card, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, in last year, everything. Yeah.
So you're under economic embargo right now. Okay.
Why?
Tonight
I just graduated not too long ago.
from
Sunday.
Sunway. So you're a degree holder now.
Uh,
Okay. What did you do in some business? Any specialization?
Not really.
Not really. It's general. Okay. And ATM?
At most once a month.
At most.
Yeah.
Maximum once a month.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even go.
Yeah.
So what do you live on? Okay. Do you withdraw money over a counter?
No, I withdraw whenever.
From your parents?
Whenever I need to.
Okay, okay.
But because my parents give me monthly, so I don't really
Okay.
go.
Go and withdraw. Okay. Good.
My name is Muhammad Firdaus. You can call me Firdaus.
Firdaus,
I just graduated from IDEA Academy in animation course.
animation. Okay.
I think maybe twice in a month
Twice a month.
or
Okay.
more.
2 animation already. Animator.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Fikri.
Fikri,
I just graduated from IDEA Academy in animation course.
Okay. Okay.
I go to ATM every single time I need money.
Okay. As and when, huh? Okay. Come on. Mm. Okay. 2 or 3 times. Okay, you guys are one gang, I guess. Okay. Who is the ringleader? Okay. 5 years? Twice a month.
So you're from everything got idea.
Okay.
You work already,
Okay.
I just
Okay, started working. You're the luckier one, you found jobs already. The rest are still jobless, is it? Okay. Okay, right.
My name is Amala.
Amala,
I finished second year degree in UCSI.
UCSI, okay, the one in Cheras, is it?
Yeah, but I didn't complete it. I'm
Okay.
completing it part-time.
Okay. And what course are you taking? Or have you taken? Sorry? Psychology. Okay. How many times do you go to ATM?
6-7 times.
Wow, okay. Means you have a lot of money to draw.
I think that when I need it.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Rose.
Rose, hi.
Hi. I'm not studying. I'm currently a maid at my old house.
Okay. Housemate, okay.
My dad pays me 50 per month and I keep it because my mom like.
So you don't really go to the ATM?
But I
Okay.
understand. So usually when I collect for a few months and I give my mom, then she'll back in.
How about you? Right. Frequent you need the money. Thanks.
My name is Intai.
Intan.
I'm studying in Multimedia University, Cyberjaya.
Okay.
I'm in finance.
Okay.
And how many times? Every weekend.
Every weekend is when you go out?
Is when I go out.
Yeah.
But on the weekdays, I try to manage.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Gilbert.
Gilbert, hi.
I'm currently studying ADU in game development.
Game development. Okay.
So, there was
Does game development have got anything to do with animation?
yeah, one is interactive, one is non-interactive.
I see. Okay.
So, the more times I go, I use it as a sometimes once, sometimes twice a week.
Once or twice a week. Okay. Yeah. What do you do as a part-time job? You teach, yeah? What do you teach? Science. Oh, okay, okay. Part-time teacher. Okay, okay. Two times a month. Okay, yeah. Hi. Elaine? Interior. Okay.
Probably
2 to 3 times. Can I ask, is it very difficult to get jobs right now in the market? Very, okay.
Yeah, quite. Not quite very.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Joyce.
Joyce, hi.
Previously working as a computer intern.
Okay.
Currently making a career break.
Career break.
Yes, I'm working with them once a month.
Okay, so you are doing one of those CIMA, ACCA kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
finish
Finish ACCA. So you're taking a break. Okay, so she's probably one of the more seniors among you guys, right? So senior not in terms of age, but experience.
My name is Xiao. Yeah, I'm currently looking for a job. So, about 2 to 3 times a month.
2 to 3 times. Okay. What was your training? As in, did you do a degree or diploma or something?
I completed my degree
Degree in
economics.
economics. Okay.
Hi, I'm Faye.
Right.
I was previously working part-time, several part-times. Now, I'm not really doing as much. Normally, on a normal month, I would go maximum once.
Okay. Why only once?
Because mainly I'm working from home,
Okay.
so I normally budget out a certain amount a month, and then
Yeah.
I'll try to use it within that amount.
Do you know why I'm asking this question? It's not safe to go to ATM anymore. You notice that, right? No, no. I'll come to that.
I'm Nicholas.
Nicholas,
Just finished SPM.
Okay.
Waiting for like May take college.
Okay, okay.
Once or twice a month.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Hi, my name is Amiri.
Mhm.
I recently graduated from animation. Like the other four.
Okay, okay.
Like the other four, I'm jobless. Okay, for the times in a month that I go to ATM, well, in the past few months, maybe 2 4 months, but recently for this month, I think it was already 8.
Very active socially.
Yeah, no, requires the money.
Very nice.
Hi, I'm Shazri.
Shazri.
Yes, seem like.
Okay, wow.
and go to ATM, no. And if emergency, I just
Then how do you, where does your money come from?
my sis.
Oh, your sis, okay.
Yeah.
Your sis is your ATM.
Yeah.
You press the sis.
Yes.
Then you can give you the money. Okay. Yeah, gentlemen, right?
I'm Haris.
Haris,
I'm actually currently studying at MMU Sarijaya.
MMU, okay.
Yeah.
Multimedia.
I'm on my salary now. I'm working in city.
Okay, okay.
So twice a month.
Twice a month, okay. Yeah.
My name is Shalini,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm studying my foundation in arts at BAC,
Mm-hmm.
and once a month.
Once a month. Okay.
My name is Alina. I just finished my SCPM, working part-time in
CPM?
SCPM,
SCPM, okay. Form 6.
working in Health Uni.
Okay.
I just recently got my card, so
Card.
at first it was a bit tough to control because I just take it out and swipe here or something.
Okay,
But now
okay.
I do it at home because I can.
Card as an ATM or a credit card?
ATM card.
ATM card, okay. But have you got a credit card?
No.
No, yeah, okay. Credit or debit card? Or you?
Hi, my name is Candice. I'm currently doing my degree in Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah, and
What degree?
what degree is it?
Yeah. What course?
Pre-vet?
Pre-med. Okay.
Pre-vet.
Pre-vet, pre-veterinarian, okay, good.
I actually go to the ATM once or twice a week.
Okay, yeah. Good.
Why is that good?
Hi, my name is Carmen.
Carmen.
I'll be working in Singapore starting next month.
Okay. What will you be doing?
Sort of admin job.
Admin, okay.
Country sort of thing.
You have already got a job secure already, so
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
So I go to ATM as
Okay, smart girl. Sing dollar is 2.68 to ringgit now. Okay. How many times did you say?
as and when.
As and when, okay.
Hi, my name is Ilan Gowat. I'm from Hong Kong, so I'm graduated. So I'm
Okay.
start working in
Okay.
logistics firms.
Logistic company, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And how many times do you go to ATM?
Twice in a month.
Twice in a month. Okay. Okay.
My name is Pavitran. I'm an aircraft engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Aircraft engineer, aviation engineer.
yeah, aviation engineer. Still finding for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm doing my aircraft licensing. So I used to go to ATM twice a month.
Twice, okay.
I'm just waiting for
Same guy, no? Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, okay.
waiting for
Okay. Okay, twice a month. Okay, okay. Okay. Never. You haven't got a car. Okay, okay. Okay. Thanks for your feedback. You might want to know why I asked the question. Basically, two very important questions when it comes to budgeting. Okay, but you all understand the word budgeting. Budgeting is when you have a big sum going into the pocket, you decide where to allocate, how and when. Okay, all these. Two things, ATM cards and credit cards are the budgeting tool. Okay? Those who have gone to ATM more than one time in a month, you're pretty messed up. Let me explain, okay? I'm going to use certain strong words today, okay, because I want it to stick. I want it to stick. I employ this very rigidly in my own personal finance. If you have a fixed income going into your pocket, whether it's coming from your employer, your sisters, your brother, or your parents, or your friends, okay? You should always put it in the bank account and go to ATM only once a month. I'll tell you why, it's very simple, okay? If you don't know how much money you're going to spend in a month, okay, very likely you're going to either it's almost 0.01% you're going to underspend. Most of the time you're going to overspend. Human beings are like that. Okay, one of the very important budgeting method is you only go to the ATM or you go over the counter or you take the money from your parents only once a month, then you split it into 4 portions, right? So let's say you get 1,000 from your whoever, okay? You split it into 4 portions, so it's 250, 250. In hard cash, put this 4 stack of 250 into your drawer at home, not a bank, at home. So either on a Monday or a Sunday night, or Sunday night or Monday morning, you take out the 250, put it in your wallet. Okay, then your ATM card, you leave it at home, in the drawer. Okay, then you spend according to your 250. So Monday, right, you have to go out, you eat, you go out with friends, you got to pay this and pay that. By the time it's Thursday or Friday, it's running low, right? So you look at how much is left in your pocket, then you decide whether you should splurge on a very expensive meal or go out to go and watch an IMAX movie. That's what? How much is it? No, 30 bucks, 20 bucks. You know, to splurge. Only you decide. Okay. Why is this so important? Because you are only indulging when you have the need. Okay. Let me tell you my own story. Okay. Like you, I graduated in University of Hawaii in US. When I came back, my first job. No, I worked in US for about a year. Okay, I was drawing $1,003 US dollars. No big deal. Okay, practical training. When I came back, my first job is also 1,000 something. Okay, if you're a graduate today, you start with probably 2 plus 3 something, right? Okay, I started with 1,000, 1,003. Okay, I was a lot worse than you guys, but of course inflation, because of inflation. So for a solid, I came back around 24. Okay. Started working in a bank, you know, start from the bottom. Okay? Every year, the happiest time is bonus, right? To do what? Bonus. Not to buy things, you know. Not to buy myself a nice, nice gadget, nice. Those days, no handphone, so we don't buy handphones. It's not to indulge in things. What do you think I was? Why do you think I was happy receiving bonus?
Because you got extra money.
You got a car?
I wasn't married. No.
Speaking of marriage,
Buy house.
No.
To invest.
I wanted the bonus to pay off my credit card bill once a year because it kept accumulating during the year, so much so I couldn't control it. I just needed the bonus to settle it before the bank send a debt collector to my office to embarrass me. Okay? Is that bad? Okay? And I went through that for a long time and it was so painful. One day I just decided to call it a day. You know, I cut the card, I threw it back to the bank and that's it, okay? And can you imagine I'm 49 this year. I got a call yesterday from AKPK. They asked me, hey, do you have credit card debt? I can restructure for you. You know, I think there are people doing this for either a service or business or something like that. Yeah, okay. So I told him I don't have that problem anymore, so I don't need to service. Okay. So this is a tip for you, okay? Try it out. Get it only once. I'm going to do this to my children also. So my son is 18 and he's going to the American program. So I'm going to give him one lump sum. I'm going to get him to budget every month, every week, how much you're going to get, and everything is in your pocket. So you know, when you take it out of pocket today, you know whether you can spend or not. And by the end of the month, you know you will never overspend. Okay? And don't budget yourself so tight that every month you force yourself, no, you will be, every week you're out of money and you have to go into drawer to take next week's allocation or go to the ATM to withdraw something to solve a temporary problem, a cash shortage. Don't do that. So whatever you allocate to your weekly or monthly spending has to be something realistic, just nice. Okay, looking at your past pattern of spending. Okay, that's very, very important. I will come to the credit card part later. Okay, because that's a killer. Okay, what is credit cards interest rate? Do you all know? It's either I'm outdated or you're outdated. Okay, credit card. Banks charge 18% per annum on credit card. Okay, and on top of that, every time you go to Starbucks or whatever to charge your card, the merchant has to pay the bank 2 to 3% on whatever. So it's the most lucrative business in any banking department. So you see, credit card department, they will hire the prettiest girls to sell credit cards because it's very, very lucrative. 18%, you know, that's licensed loan shark. Almost. You know what 18% is? I mean, it's a lot of money. Okay? So that's credit card. Okay? Okay, I want to base this presentation on this book because it's an easy way out. I just pick up points from here, right? Okay. There are a lot of good points, very, very good points, very commonsensical. Young people like you may not have thought about it, but for my colleagues at the back and those ladies at the back, they probably have gone through, or somehow somebody have told them, or they are learning from friends or relatives or whatever, some of the money management pointers. Okay, but before I do that, you all prepare the blank paper. Yeah, blank papers. I need you guys to write down in this piece of paper. After that, I will go through it. Okay? No. Individual pieces. Okay, when you get that blank piece of paper, just write very simply, okay, what is the most challenging money management problem you are encountering right now? Okay, don't write every month don't have not enough money to spend. Okay, that issue I will address later, okay? Yeah, okay, if you have got some paper on your own, can you just write? I'm going to collect it. And don't write your name. This is anonymous. Don't write your name. Write down what is the most challenging money management problem you have right now. Whether it's overspending or underspending. Don't write not enough money to spend. Okay? That one is given. Everybody hasn't got enough money to spend. Okay? That's given. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. One of the common problems. Resisting something, resisting. Or afterward, we'll try to solve your problem one by one. It's very, very commonsensical. Okay.
We wish we had this, but
throughout my presentation today, okay, I'll keep making reference to this thing. Then you know exactly how to get rich. Okay? It's very, very simple. Okay, so, okay, so this book is written in pretty ancient language. Okay, you only come across this kind of language in the scriptures, the Bibles and all that kind of stuff. But it's totally non-religious, okay? It's just some money management skill that was propagated and practiced by one rich man in Babylon. You know, Babylon is the oldest civilization on earth. Okay, which is where Iraq is right now. Okay, so the first point that he says, I mean this fella is start diapers to factory. Okay? What does it mean? When you get 3,000 salary, you pay your rental, you pay your car loan, you pay your food, beverages, everything. You're left with very little. Right? It's not easy to survive in KL. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Rental is bloody high, you know. You go and have a nasi lemak, you just add one chicken wing, I think the fellow will whack you $8, right? Especially the mama restaurant, you know, kayu and all that, right? You try to just pick one prawn, is it? You'll be $15-20. Okay, it's very expensive. It's very expensive to stay here. Okay, why? Our living cost is not that high if you look at it. Okay, compare with Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, and other countries. For the same price, you probably get maybe half a plate of chicken rice in Hong Kong, whatever you're paying here. Okay, so it's not expensive. What is our problem here? Our salary is low. Our salary is low. Okay? Our tax is pretty high. Our tax is 25, 26%. Singapore is 15. Hong Kong is 12, 15, around there. Okay, personal income tax I'm talking about. Okay? Don't compare. If you go to Spain, you go to Australia, it's 30, 40% tax. Okay? So, every time you draw a salary or your parents give something to you, you must pay yourself first. What does it mean? You pay yourself first. You pay at least 10% minimum to yourself first. That goes to here, right? This is income statement. You assume you yourself is a company, you run a business. This is your income, expenses. This is your balance sheet, your financial status. Today, I think right after I did my CFP, okay, I went back, I did all these things for myself. I did not know how much I was worth until I did all this exercise. Previously, if like people ask me, hey, are you rich? I say, I certainly don't feel rich. I don't feel rich, but okay, let me go back and calculate. So I did this. So I put all my assets, whether it's car, my cats, my dogs, or my house, or whatever, I put it here. Then everything I owe, I put it here, liability. Okay, this minus this is your net worth. The accounting students will be very, very familiar with this thing. But even if you're non-accounting or in animation, this is very intuitive. How much is your worth? Of course, this particular table, I mean this statement does not capture your self-worth, your ability to earn. No, that part is not captured. This is merely accounting. So if, let's say, what is the best example to look at this thing? When you're not around. Okay, when you're not around, you disappear. What do you call it? Something combustion. Yeah, spontaneous combustion. Let's say you just disappear. Your family will get all these things. Okay, they will dig through your files, everything, to see whether you have got bank accounts, bank balances. You see whether you owe people money or not, owe friends money or owe the bank's money. They will take this money, settle the bank, pay the bank, pay all the creditor, and this is how much you're worth. Okay, this is when you're not around. Okay, but the actual worth of a person, of course, it cannot be determined just by looking at this, because you have got earnings power, future earnings power. You have done your animation. I'm sure when you when you get a job, you start earning, then your future income will come in, right? Okay, but this is just a very good snapshot of where you are today. Okay, so you have to start paying yourself. Okay, where does this go? When you have income, where does this money go? It comes here. you earn money, the money goes into your assets. It becomes your assets. Okay, whether it's liquid, or you go and buy something, you go and buy a nice watch, you go and buy something not so liquid. When I say liquid, it's not liquid as in water. Liquid means can it be turned into cash very quickly? Can you sell it? Can you pawn it? Can you sell it to a friend? You know, and turn it into cash. This liquid. It goes here. Okay? So your net worth is determined by, if you have a lot of assets, you have very little liability, your net worth is very, very high. Then you become a very, very rich guy. Okay, there are a lot of people out there you see driving very, very flashy cars. Audi A6, A5, or whatever, Porsche and all that. Staying in one nice apartment in Mont Kiara or something like that. You have to look at their bank account. They are probably negative net worth. You know what it means? They've got cars, apartments, everything here. But the liability is equally big. So over here could be negative. What does negative mean? It means if the fellow were to disappear, somebody has to take up the debt for them. Okay? So they are practically worthless. Okay? So what you want to do as an individual is you want to enhance your assets, reduce the liability as much as possible so that you have a very high net worth. Okay? So paying yourself is the motion of accumulating the money into your assets column. Okay? So you'll be looking at it. You just told me it's very difficult to survive in KL. Do I have anything left to pay myself? Okay, that's a question that we have to answer later. Okay. So I save, after so many years, after paying off my credit card bills in my earlier days. Okay, today I'm a little bit more comfortable, have a little bit more money, so I save roughly around 30% of my income. Okay, I no longer save 10, because the higher you save, the better. Okay, the higher you save, the faster your asset size will grow. Okay. Okay, this, if you those who are working, you know scheduler tax, right? Before you can spend it, the government asks your employer to deduct the tax portion from your salary. Before it gets to your account, you know, it's already been taken out. Why does the government do that? I was working in Singapore, no scheduler tax. I only file tax return year end. I'll tell the Singapore government. I was working in Singapore for 3 years. Okay, Singapore no scheduler tax. Malaysia, yes, quite a number of countries have scheduler tax. Why? Our government don't trust you. You're going to spend the money in IMAX. You know, you're going to spend the money in dating. Okay, it's not. At the end of the year, you have no money to pay tax already, right? So they take it from you first. So can you do that to yourself or not? Please do that to yourself. Before you spend your money on some fancy clothes or whatever, tax yourself. This is what we call self-tax. Tax yourself, 10%. Take it out from when you receive the payslip, when you receive the money on your account, open another account. You have one account, let's say a savings account, you tell your employer, my salary, can you just put it inside here, okay? In that same bank account, same bank, ask the bank to open another account for you. Okay, so you have 2 accounts there. Every time the money comes in to account A, you take out 10% of that and put it in account B. And in account B, you don't touch it. Because it is supposed to grow your assets, the account B, over time. Okay, do that. That's disciplined financial management. Okay? So that's self-tax, if you understand that concept. Taxing yourself. force yourself to get taxed by yourself. Okay? So the first point is start the purse to fattening. That means fatten your purse. Force yourself to fatten your purse. Second point, control diet expenditures. Diet is yours, okay, possessive. How many people can, okay, when I was growing up, I can't do it because every year I got to pay credit card, right? But how many of you can get a raise? Let's say this year I'm getting 3,000. Next year I'm getting 10% increase. That 3,000, I assume the 3,000 didn't come in. It goes straight to my account B. How many can do that? You know who is economics students here? 1, 2, 3. What is one of the most influential, most powerful economic theory? Not supply and demand. Maslow hierarchy of needs. Okay, the one is more a bit of psychology. The most powerful economic theory, to me at least, is called expectational income. If you know, if your boss have told you he or she is going to pay you 6-month bonus next month, I tell you, you go out and spend first. Am I right or not? If you have credit card, you straight away commit first. You will go out to Zara's and all these places, start looking already. Okay, expectational income is very, very powerful. If I know I'm not going to have a job next month, I tell you, I'll be nasi lemak packet every meal, you know, $2. Right? Expectational income is a very, very powerful theory. So, in this sense, very few people can do this, but if you can do this, you will be rich next time. Okay? If you can, maintain the same lifestyle. As in everything the same, whatever extra you get, straight away go into investment. Goes into your account B. Okay? When I see people yawning, it's time for a break, but I don't think so. It's too early, right? Okay, it's 2:45. We'll take a break around, we have until 4.
No breaks.
No breaks, oh, no breaks. Can't even breathe. Go on. Okay.
Do exercise, no breaks.
We'll give you a 2-3 minutes toilet break later, around 3:30.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So this is very important. Don't upgrade the lifestyle because your income has just increased. Unless it increased by 100%, then go and throw yourself a nice party and go for a nice holiday. But if just 10, 15, 20% kind of increase, don't do it. Put it in account B for it to grow next time. Okay, it's very important. Okay. Can you buy a car with cash? How many can do it? Not many can do it. Car, I'm talking about, let's say even the cheapest one, probably a Myvi or, yeah, 50,000 with cash. Not many people can do it. Yeah, probably, okay. If you go by strict financial management, according to the old school, you shouldn't even get a car loan. Okay, I know it's not easy to do that in Malaysia or in many other countries. If I am driving a beaten up the 15-year-old car, very likely I won't be able to marry myself off, right? Okay, so you have social pressure and all that kind of stuff, so I understand. So go and get a car loan, it's fine, but don't stretch yourself. Don't buy a car that you cannot afford. So this is very important. What is a car? Never buy depreciating assets on credit. What does it mean? What is a credit? Credit is loans, you borrow. What's a depreciation? Yeah. There's the only car that increases in value are a limited edition vintage, some very old Gulfwing Mercedes SLK, that kind of stuff. Okay, very, very rare. But 99% of the cars, even very, very rare sports car, depreciates in value big time. So what does buying a car is an asset, right?
Yes.
Okay, but every year it goes down in value. This one goes down, it affects your net worth, right? Okay, and sorry, don't spend on a car, take buses. I cannot stand chaos of public transport. It's really horrible. So I still want to drive.
I'm not saying that.
Okay. Okay. So when you borrow from the bank, how much are you charged? Do you know how much banks charge you on car loan? 9%. No, that's too high. Bank charge you car loan based on, they call it flat rate. Okay, if you go and borrow, you go and take a loan to buy a house, you are being charged on what we call a declining balance. Your interest is calculated on a declining balance. But car loans are all charged flat. So if the car salesman says, okay, this particular finance or bank is charging you 3%, it means 3 times the amount of loan times number of years is you are taking to repay the loan. So if it takes 5 years, it's, let's say, 50,000 times 5 times 3. The moment you sign on that paper, the loan agreement, you're trapped already, no? Let's say you win a lottery or you get a bonus, you want to pre-settle your loan. Can, but with a hefty penalty. So the moment you sign on the dotted line to say, I'm taking this car loan, your 50,000 times 3 times 5 is pretty much out of your pocket already. Okay? So if you try to go and buy a car, let's say your car is 60,000, you borrow 50,000, okay? Times 5, you go and calculate how much interest you pay. It's as much as your principal, usually. Okay, there are a lot of schemes in the market that says, I know we cannot afford it. I extend the loan to 9 years. What does it mean? 50 times 3 times 9 out of your pocket. Okay? So don't stretch your loan to 9-10 years. You're paying a lot of interest. And by the time you finish with your car loan, what happened to your car? After 9 years. You can straight away push it to the junkyard already. Right? So, depreciating assets on credit, you're paying a lot of interest, and you're paying a lot of interest on something that depreciates every day. Okay? Rich people don't do that. I mean, I'm talking about the real rich. Rich people live very, very humbly. They drive. I've got one client, used to work as a private banker. Okay, I've got this client, he's a listed company boss. Okay, he's worth today no less than 500-600 million. Okay, he's just like everybody. We meet up for lunch, talk about investment all the time. Okay, he likes to listen from me, I like to listen from him. He used to drive a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla. He can drive the Bugatti Veyron if he wants to, but he drives the Platinum. Then I asked him, Doc, he's a PhD holder. I said, Doc, what happened? I drive this car, I can park anywhere, nobody cares. People wouldn't know I'm a rich guy and they won't come and rob me or anything. So he's that kind of person, okay? So these are very, very rich people. They don't want people to know they're rich, okay? And so you buy a car, it's depreciating here, and this thing keep going up. This thing just keep on, it stays there. So this drops, this one stays there, what happened to net worth? Drop. So you know car is depreciating big. So you just get in good enough a car to attract girls for the guys, just good enough to attract for the Okay? Just good enough to take you places and attract those, that's all. Don't buy so high, you know, so expensive that it affects your balance sheet. For the ladies, if you are, just go and get a richer boyfriend. Okay. Just don't spend too much on car. All taken. Yeah. Okay. Just go harder. So you got this car story, okay? Unless you're really this is very important to you, it's your life, you just need to flash around. Okay, don't spend too much on this kind of stuff because it's depreciating. If you are just starting off, you know, it's just not worth it. Okay, credit card. Yeah.
So let's say I want to buy a car. Would it be better to have long cash at hand?
And pay it off.
And take shorter loan, like 1 year loan?
Definitely. Because if you're taking 1 year, the bank can only charge you 1 year. It's 50,000 times 3 times 1. That's all.
When they give us the paper, we can't correct it, amend it. I don't
No,
know.
you can't.
It's their policy.
Yeah, if you want to amend it, they will ask you to go to the next one. As in next bank. See whether the next bank is willing to amend it or not. And very likely, if you're not buying a $2 million car, very likely they'll ask you to put it crudely, fly kite up. Okay? So very likely they won't change it. Okay? Of course, when you prepay, you have money, you prepay, the bank will give you some kind of rebates. Okay, the interest rebate, but it's very little. Okay, so the moment you sign, you're stuck already. So when I see people signing 9 years and all that, they're just asking for it. You know, asking the bank to whack you. Okay, credit card. How many has got credit cards here? 1. Very good. If you haven't got credit card, you better learn this. Okay, I just told you 19%. Okay? And okay, the merchant part you don't have to be bothered about, but some merchants are quite naughty, right? If you want to use credit card, they'll say, can you pay for the charges? So you'll be paying more. When you buy something, you'll whack the 2% onto your purchase price. Okay? So credit card is not an extension of your purchasing power. Please remember this. A lot of people think they go dating, they buy this, they buy that, and now the American Express actually issue, this is called a Centurion card. You know, platinum in color, silver in color. You know what you can do with the card? You can buy a Porsche with the card. 500,000, okay? 1 million you can use the card to buy it. This is how prestigious it is. Okay? So to these people, the rich guys, this is their convenience. Okay? Convenience. For poor guy like us, it is we like to think it's an extension of our purchasing power. It is only an extension of your purchasing power if you don't have to pay. But unfortunately, you have to, right? So it's not an extension of your purchasing power. So what is a credit card? The credit card is only one thing. It's your emergency fund. You are sick, your mother fell down or something like that. You use the credit card to go to the hospital to say, take my card, okay, treat my mother first. It's only for that purpose. Practical purpose, okay? Because when your mother, sorry, I mean, I shouldn't use your mother as an example. Somebody is sick, okay? Somebody is sick, right? You don't want to haggle with the guy at the counter to say, the fellow is okay, and especially private hospital, pretty good. Yeah, I mean, they want to see your credit card before you can push them into the wall. Okay, so you want to have that card just in case something like this happens. But don't use it to go to Zara's, you know, your mangoes and all that kind of stuff. Because sure recipe for disaster. Okay, so remember, credit cards are convenience for the rich people, and it's emergency fund for us, ordinary people. Okay? During your day, ordinary day, every weekends or every day, don't carry it. Don't use it. You have your 250 or whatever amount per week allocation already, right? Take it out from there. Okay, if you don't have, what if you don't have already the wallet? You used up already, what do? Don't spend! Yeah. What's the problem? Don't spend. Okay? Today you look at people like Lim Guo Tong, another Krishna, or maybe Robert Kwok, all these rich guys, you know, the big tycoon. Why are they so rich today? Because when they were younger, they slog harder than everybody else, and they are more disciplined than everybody else. If they are just like anybody else, you know, spendthrift, don't know how to control, don't know how to invest, don't know how to manage, you think they will get here today? No way. So if you want to get there, big net worth over here, you have to start disciplining yourself. Be different from the rest. If 40 over here, right? If the 40 over here behave in a certain way, and you follow the rest, you just be as poor as the rest, right? So you have to do something different than the rest to stand out, so that you will get to high net worth over here. Of course, you're very fortunate because I'm telling you, whatever guys out there that didn't attend this thing, they wouldn't know. They're still standing like a fish, okay? They don't know what this thing is all about, they don't know how to build a network, okay? So credit card, remember, when you get your first credit card, I've got 2 credit cards only. I used to have 5, okay? Then I told you the story, right? You know, my bonus. So I cut everything out. I got 2 credit cards. 1 credit card, I use it to travel, okay? That one is smaller, it's like 30,000 I have limit. I have a 1 credit card, the credit limit is only 5,000. Standard Chartered. The bank keep on calling me and say, hey, Mr. Lim, can I increase your limit? It's not enough. I said, enough, don't increase it. I'm still paying my annual fee, I'm still paying the government service tax of $50, but it's only 5,000. It's for my online transaction. Because I want to book Air Asia ticket or wherever I don't want a credit card that has got 20,000 because it can now be fraud. I use my credit card in some funny places. Okay, the guy took my card and rolled it to 15,000-20,000. Okay, so much so I have to go to commercial crime department, not Bukit Aman, the one in Pudu, to report. And finally investigating, it was a fraud, then they returned the money. But in between, on that 15,000-20,000, they're charging me interest, the bank, 18%. So when they credited the money back to me, they did not credit the interest back to me. Okay, so this kind of thing can happen if your card is being used illegally, especially overseas. So my credit card, that particular card is 5,000. If somebody steal my card, charge it to 10,000, I can tell the bank, your limit is only 5,000. The other 5,000 I'm not going to care. Right? Okay? So basically that. So control the expenditure, second point, you know. Okay? Make sure you live within your means. Don't be a hero, because hero die fast, die younger. Okay? Okay, this is the third point. Make diagonal multiply. This is what we do best in Huang, okay? Build an emergency fund of 6 to 8 months of current salary. Why 6 to 8 months? When you start working, Just now I talked about the 10% and all that kind of stuff, right? The 10% only happens, okay, you take out the 10% to build something like this, 6 to 8 months. Why 6 to 8 months? Typically, it takes you 6 to 8 months to find another job. Let's say you got fired, right? Okay? Of course, right now, I think the situation is worse. It takes longer. Okay.
You can get a job.
Okay. I want to read this quote to you that I picked up. This lady is a Taiwanese author. Okay, she's a writer. She married a German guy. They have children, a couple of children, very good-looking, cross between Taiwanese and German kids and all that. She's so good. After becoming a writer, very successful writer, she became the Minister of Culture of Taiwan. Okay, a very, very famous lady. She has got this. So, when she became famous, she neglected the family. She had a divorce with a German husband. The German husband brought the kids back to Germany. She stayed on in Taiwan to become her, carry on with the Minister of Culture or something like that. So she has got this series of books that she writes to the sons. The sons are growing up, teenage sons. There is a gap between her and the son, and she's very, very concerned. Okay. She didn't say whether her husband is responsible about bringing up the kids. But when I saw this quote, I thought it was quite meaningful. I want to read it out to you. It's got something to do with this 6 to 8 kind of thing. Okay, it says, son, I want you to study hard. Not because I want to compare your grades with that of your peers. But I wish you would have the luxury to choose in the future. You study hard because I want you to have the luxury to choose. Okay? Choosing a job that's meaningful, that could afford you leisure time, and not impose on you for a livelihood. What does it mean? You have to look for, I want you to study hard, get good grades, get into good school, be very useful, very productive, so that you can choose a job that you want to do, is meaningful, you're helping people, and you're helping your own wallet also. Afford leisure time is very, very important. How many of us who have been working and we have to work very long hours and we have to work overtime just to make our boss happy, our bosses happy, right? Okay? If your job is meaningful to you deep inside, you will gain a sense of achievement. Okay, like what we are doing here, you know, how do you pronounce it? Okay, it's very, very meaningful stuff that the ladies are doing, right? Okay, they feel the sense of, if you are successful, I think they are like your mommies, yeah. You pull the words out of my mouth. Yeah, exactly. So they get that sense of achievement. When your job could afford to grant you leisure time and not intrude into your life, okay, you would feel dignified. Okay? Achievement and dignity give you happiness. So this is basically what I also told my kids about this. Okay, whenever they're lazy, I whack them, I knock on them, I say, hey, I want you to study not because I want your grade to be better than your friends or anything. But I want you to have the right, the luxury to choose. Okay? When you're very, very good, you go out, people look for you, not you look, jobs look for you, not you look for jobs. Okay? That's the difference between a very good candidate and an average candidate. Average candidates go out and look for jobs. Good candidates, jobs look for them. Okay? Simple as that. So, when today you're not working and your bills are running, you ask money from your parents, what happened? First month, okay. Second month, okay. Third month, okay. Fourth, fifth. The longer it drags, the more they will give you that long face, right? How come you are still not employed? How come you still cannot be independent, right? So when you don't have 6 to 8 months sitting in the bank to allow you to think, what do? Sorry? You grab anything that comes along. Desperate. You grab anything that comes along. That will affect your career path in the future. Because you're not doing things that is adding value to your future career. You're just doing things to pay your expenses. That's all. That is the difference. So it's very important to, when you get a job, to start building something and set it aside. Just in case you are extremely unhappy with your boss, you want to move on, you can ask your boss to fly kite. Then take 6 to 8 months to look for the right one. Okay? That's very important. Is my language a little bit too crude? It's alright.
It's very real.
It's okay.
It's very real.
Okay. So we are talking about multiplying goal, right? We're talking about when you have the money, how do you multiply it? So I just told you it's very important you have the emergency fund. Secondly, some are animators, some are just not very few finance. You all know the concept of compounding. I know it's compounding, but in the financial term, it's a lot more profound than that. Okay, compounding effect of returns and investment, okay, is what we call the 8th wonder of the world. There are 7 wonders, right? You know, Niagara Falls and the Sphinx and all that. 8th wonder of the world. What does compounding mean? Today, I put $1,000 in the bank account, earning 3%, let's say, FD, fixed deposit, right? I rolled it, I put it for 1 month. Okay? $1,000, 3% is $30. Okay? Next month, sorry, 30 divided by 12. Okay? Because the 3% is per annum. Okay? The next 30 divided by 12. How much is that? Okay, can you punch that? 30 divided by 12. $250. Okay. So this month is now is March, right? So I put the money in. I get $250. Next month is $1,250 times 3% divided by 12. So my return. Okay. Your $1,000 times 3%, right? This 3% is per annum, right? You put your FD for 1 month, okay? So it's 3% divided by 12. Some of my colleagues say the bank said 250. This is what the bank will pay you for putting this 1,000 for a month, okay? This 3% is for 1 year, so you're going to divide by 12. So the following month, your principal will be what is this? 102.5 times 3% divided by 12. Next month, the non-salary return interest 250 what? Very small, right? Because the number is very small over here. But to illustrate this, the power of compounding is every time, as time goes by, your return keeps on increasing. Okay? Don't look at this number, very small. I'll show you some numbers now. Every month you put $250 ringgit into a bank. Okay? Let's say you park this 250 in the stock market. Stock market historically over the last 30 to 50 years, on average every year, some years up, some years down, but on average stock market gives you 12 to 15%. Okay, I don't have a chart today, but it's proven. Okay? 12%. Just 250 ringgit per month, assuming per annum 12% kind of return. You put the money for 50 years. What does 50 years mean? The moment you're born, your parent start putting 250 in your account. Park it in some kind of unit trust or whatever that gives you 12% return. When you become 50, almost retirement, how much money do you think you have in the bank account? Quarter billion, 250,000. No. Sorry, it is 50. Sir. Let's talk about 30 first. 30, 25 years old, I started working like you guys. When I reached 55, okay, I retired. 250, 12% return a year. You know how much you have in your account when you turn 50, 55? 873,000. Because of compounding. Okay? The caveat is, the condition is, every month without fail, whether it rains, it snows, or whatever, you don't have money, you still have to come up with 250. If you don't have the money, you won't borrow. I put it. You will get to 873,000. I'll just give you another scenario. The moment you're born, your parents start an account for you and start putting 250 per month. Is 250 a lot of money? Can most parents give you 250 in the account? Not difficult, right? Same thing based on 12% return. When you turn 50 years old, make a wild guess how much money you will have when you turn 50. Now I regret when I did this calculation. I regret, how come I didn't do this with my kids? My kids are 18 and 15 already, so still not too late, but I can still try, but it's not going to be this good. You wouldn't believe this number. 50 years accumulated, every month 250, 12% return. End result is 9.7 million. Don't believe it? During breaks or when it's done, I can show you with my financial calculator. 9.7 million if you accumulate 50 years. There is another story. Benjamin Franklin, the ex-president of US, actually took out something like $2,000, put in a trust. Okay, he put the $2,000 US in the trust. The trust has got one condition. You cannot touch it for 200 years. For 200 years. Okay? And the condition is also the trust, this money is to be accumulated and compounded at FD rates. Okay? 200 years later, this particular trust that is set up by Benjamin Franklin gave two cities, I think Boston or Chicago, give them to the government coffer for 2 to 3 million each, only from $2,000. And this is not regular contribution, it's just one off, just 2,000, put it in the account and don't touch it for 200 years, it grew to 4 or 5 million. Okay, your case, if you want to do it, you want to do it for your kids or your parents, it's going to do it for you. It's every month. So the impact is even more than that. Because every month you put the money in. Okay, so this is a big wonder of the world. This is why we are here as a fund manager. We make this kind of money, we generate a return so that you guys, when you plan for your futures, you can use compounding to help you to become financially independent. Okay? Shall we just take 5 minutes, because I see some eyes are struggling to stay open. Yeah, let's do a 5 minutes break, okay? Yeah. Okay, welcome back. Is everybody back, right? I think so. Okay. So are you still appalled by this number? I mean, I'm sure he does. 9.7 million, right? And I've just proven to him by punching the numbers into the financial calculator. So I did not bullshit, okay? It was 9.7 million. Okay, so you know the power of compounding. And next, what we're going to talk about is debt. Is debt good? What is debt? Debt is when you owe people money. That's called debt. Okay? Debt is liability. Is debt good? Credit card is debt. Housing loan is debt. Car loan is debt. You owe money to your friend is debt. Everything is debt. Okay? And if you borrow money from friends, you may not have to pay interest. You just buy them nasi lemak or teh tarik. Say, hey, good bro, you know, lend me the money, right? That's all. But the banks are not that nice. They charge you interest. Okay? I just told you how they charge you on car loan interest. Flat. So it's very high. Okay? If you borrow money to buy a house, then the loan is charged, the interest is charged on a reducing balance. Okay? If you want to know about it, read up, go and Google. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into it, it's a little bit technical. Okay? But essentially, the rate charged for housing loan and all that is marginally lower than, say, car loan. Okay? So, good debt versus bad debt. Okay? There is only one. If you're buying a car because you need to travel, you buy a house because you need to stay in, you don't want to rent anymore, you want to own a property because you want to get married, or the girl will only marry you if you own a property. Okay? There are a lot of these kind of cases, right? Okay? So if you have a condition like this, you got no choice but to buy a property. Okay? Those loans, there is not much economic consideration to talk about because those are necessity. You just need a car, you just need a house and all that. Okay? But as a rule of thumb, you only borrow if you can generate a return higher than the borrowing cost. Okay? You only do that, then your debt becomes good debt. I'll give you one example. I borrow from the bank 100,000. The bank charged me 5% per annum. Okay? Let's say it's a what do you call an overdraft. So the interest is charged on a balance I owe the bank. Then this 100,000 I put it with my friend. Okay, we have a JV company, and this business generates 10% return every year. Then I would have a net return of 5 after paying off 5% to the bank. That is good debt. Okay. If I borrow the money from the bank at 5, I invest in stock market gives me 30% return, then my net return is 25% after settling off the cost of borrowing. Okay, but if you pay 5% to the bank to buy a car and the car keeps depreciating, okay, that is bad debt. Okay, but if you need the car to travel anyway, then no choice. So how do you turn such a bad debt into a good debt? 5%, you borrow from a bank, get a car, right? Then you join Uber. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, you want to turn it into good debt, you have to rent your car out as a taxi, right? I mean, that's just hypothetically, it's a good concept, but okay. Or your house. You buy a house, you want to stay in it, you rent it out. So this is a very good example. You go and buy a house, you pay the bank, let's say 5%. Okay? Then you rent out and collect 8% rental per annum. Then you have a 3% net income. Okay? But if you look around, because the property prices has gone up so much over the last 3 to 5 years, most of the property deal is you probably pay the bank about 4.5 to 5%, but your return on your rental is 3 to 4%. So that's negative. Okay, that's most that is probably the situation right now in the property market. Okay. So understand the concept of good debt and bad debt. So debt is not bad if you use it very wisely. Rich people are very, very skillful in using the bank to make money for them. Okay? Because they are rich, the bank are willing to lend to them. So they lend a lot of money cheap and use the money to develop houses, invest in businesses, invest in stock market and all that, and make themselves even richer. Okay? Just now I talked about the account A, then to account B, right? One of the most powerful investment concepts that you can employ is you give the bank a standing instruction. You go to the bank, you sign a form to ask the bank, every month 250 from this account, you put in some sort of investment, whether with Public Mutual, with Huang or whatever, to buy a certain investment that will grow. Okay? This is what we call automated savings. That means when you must ensure that they have money in the account. Okay? Then the bank will just deduct. So you are investing without you're not investing consciously, you're investing automatically. And that will allow that compounding thing that I talked about just now to happen. Okay? I do that. Okay? I do that for my kids. 15 years ago, I started my education fund for my kids. Okay? What I did was, they started with 300 per month. Okay? Right now, because it's closer to drawing out the money for their education, really. So every month I practically have to contribute maybe a couple of thousand each. Okay? But every year it grows by 10%. First year I contribute 300, second year I contribute 330, then so on and so forth. So whatever money there is all automated investment. I just put it in. Okay? And because of what I did 15 years ago, today I don't have to borrow money from my friend to send my kids to US. The money is already there. Okay? This is how powerful planning is. You just plan, you just do automation to your savings and investment. Okay? I've got 2 kids. I think they can easily do a 2 plus 2 in US, no problem. If they want to do all 4 years in US, you have to talk to my boss to fatter bonus. Or I have to sell my car or something like that. Okay. But basically, I have already planned it 15 years ago, and what I'm seeing is that number is as per what I planned. Okay, so it can actually happen. It's not just theories. Okay. Okay, this is very, very important, young people. There are no free lunches in the world. If somebody says, give me your money, Every month I'll pay you 5% return on it. Okay? Any of your parents invest in Swiss gold, whatever, this kind of scheme, cepat kaya. Okay? They would have people. Okay? Why? Because when all these gold scheme came into market, they promised, is it 5% per? Sorry, I think it's 3. Sorry. I think it's 2% per month. 2% per month, guaranteed. Listen, this word, guaranteed. It means rain or shine, I pay you 2%. 2% per month, 1 year is how many percent? 24. Guaranteed. How many guys out there can guarantee you a return in the market right now? Banks, right? You put money in an FD, they guarantee you 3%. Right? You put money with a fund manager, the fund manager will tell you, for this equity, right, I'm going to try to do 10% for you, but no guarantee. Right? So what makes them so good that they can guarantee 24%? Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. Where do they get the 24% from? They will take your money, put in the bank and get the 3%, but where is the balance of the 21? Where are they going to get from? They say, oh, we buy gold. Gold prices has gone from $200 US about 6-7 years ago to 1,009. Today is 1,002. Okay, so it has dropped from the high. So where is this 21% going to come from? So basically, they are promising you free lunches, which didn't come. Right? So every time you go into the market, you look at an investment, always ask yourself that question: where are they making the money from? If it doesn't make sense, it's too good to be true. It is too good to be true. True enough, and it blew up. We have a lot of investors coming to us to say, Steve, you tell me you're going to make 12% for me, but no guarantee. But these guys are giving me 24% guarantee. We got a lot of problems when this gold thing was going on, not just Swiss Gold, a few other guys. They came to us and said, can you do better or not? Better than these guys. At least guarantee me 10%, they 24. You do half or 12. I said, no way. No way, no free lunch. So I said, oh, like that. Okay, I go and invest in them. Now they're coming back to me. They just give me the look. You know? And one of my sister-in-law is doing this as an agent, and she got my brother-in-law in. And my brother-in-law is kind enough to still talk to her. Because she just kept quiet when the thing blew up. And I think my brother-in-law invested about 50,000. And the 50,000 just like that, you know, just spontaneous combustion. Just disappeared. There's no way you can recover the money. Because it's taken and they have, the people who did it have siphoned the money out somewhere. Okay? So every time you come across investment, always ask yourself, where do they make the money from? It doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Okay? Don't go for free lunches. Scheme cepat kaya, somebody promise you that. Always be critical. Okay? Yeah.
How about the networking?
Sorry?
The networking scene.
What is the networking scene? No. MLM is a different thing. MLM is just a scheme to distribute product. Okay? Like Amway. Amway is MLM, but it's a proper MLM. Okay? If you become member, you get another 2 or 3, then whatever they sell, you have an overriding over them. So that is just a marketing scheme, okay, to the marketing structure to market their products.
Some investors.
Correct, yeah, you're right. So some are using the MLM system to invest in financial products.
It's a product.
Yeah, it's a financial product rather than soap powder or whatever. Yeah. Okay, public mutual is merely a marketing scheme. They don't promise you a return, so it's okay. In fact, Affin Hwang, we have an agency department that handles this part of the business, where let's say today you want to become an agent, you go and recruit these 4 guys to be under you. So whatever they sell, you take an overriding cut commission on whatever they sell. Okay, that is just a marketing scheme. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but if these guys were to go out and say, I can give you 24% guaranteed return, then when they cannot deliver, the customer come after you, then it is a problem. Okay, but if you're just using the scheme as a marketing structure to reach your customer, but you're selling something that is reasonable, there is not making unnecessary promises, then it's fine. Okay? But yeah, there are a few schemes that blew up. There's one called Sherwin.com or something like that. Selling the yeah, there's a couple of mainland Chinese, they started something here and it blew up. Okay, before I go into this, let's look at some of the, wow, I asked for 1, you gave me 10. Wow, you really have so much money management problems. Generally, my family's monthly income is unstable. Hence, I'm self-sustained, okay. Unable to have any savings, okay. Common problem. Have to spend my money for family, okay. Too tight the budget, never enough to splurge. Not savings in the bank, okay. When splurging, no more cash. Common problem, right? Okay. So this is not enough money problem. I already told you not to tell me this problem. Okay. Very hard to control spending. I've already told you how already, right? Budgeting, create 4 piles. You have, you spend. You don't have, you don't spend. You know what's the advantage of this thing, this scheme? I have 200, 300 in my pocket. My weekly allowance is 500. So every month I take out 2,000, 5,555 for 4. Today is Saturday, right? I took this out on Monday. Tonight I'm going to have a gala good time. Right? Tonight I'm going to have a gala good time. I'm going to go out drink with my friends. I'm going to bring my kids out for a nice meal. I have money. Why did I have money? Because Monday to Friday, I eat nasi lemak packet. So I have so much left. This is the attractiveness of this particular scheme. I can do it now. Tonight I would seriously enjoy this 250. Because I know even I blow this 250, tomorrow I have 250 coming, 500 coming in. You know what I mean? It's the next month already. So I can afford to splurge, feel good about it, and not blow my budget. That is discipline. Okay? I'm doing it. I'm not just telling you guys, I'm doing it. Okay? So on the spending part, you all know lah. Okay, very hard to control spending. Habit of spending for others. Too generous, is it? Keep on buying friends makan and all that. Okay, please stop doing that. Ask them to spend their own budget. Okay, unless you want something from them. Unless you want them to do your homework or something. That's a different story. Okay, want more than need, okay? Overspending, financial restraint. Okay. expenditure for transportation around KL, going to places that doesn't have public transport, so sometimes you will take a taxi, okay, and all that. So you just have to probably buy a car. If you're staying in the faraway places, okay, you may want to consider moving to a more convenient place so that your transportation costs will come down. You know? Okay, poor budgeting, that's everybody's problem. Okay, I've already given you the solution already. Don't mind spending a lot of money on good food. Keep justifying that it is for my reference. Sorry, I can't read this word. Reference. What does it mean? Justifying that is for my reference. Oh, so you're accumulating experience having good food. Okay, okay. Watch your weight though. Okay. Okay. You're doing this for a different reason. That is okay to spend. Because you're doing it to accumulate a database for your future business. So whatever you're spending today is investment. That is very different. Okay? So I think it's alright to do that. Okay? Social life, problem. Too much social life. Drinking and partying and all that. Expensive to basically grow our clothes, you're going to look good and all that. Typical problems are. So what I'm saying is, you already have your 500 or you have the 250 or whatever. You just spend within that budget. Do you need to buy a new clothes every week? No, right? Not every week you have got a wedding to attend, right? You don't need to wear new clothes, right? So instead of doing it every week, can you just do it once a month? Buy new clothes once a month, okay? Wow, more challenging money issue than, okay. To me, the most challenging money issue is just to survive in Damansara Perdana with only 300 a month. Wow, poor guy. Okay, I'll bring you out for lunch one of these days. 300 a month, my God. Okay, a few months before I was able to save more because the college provided us with food, and a place to stay, transport and everything. But people in the program ended, the program ended already, so all the financial assistance all stopped already. Poor chap. Okay. When something like that happens, you probably have to enlist or pool your family connection. Right? Yeah. But I have to, yeah, basically you're in a very, you're trapped between a rock and a hard place. So you better start being very, very nice with your parents. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do I solve that?
Oh, it's you! I have a solution later. I'll tell you later. Just remind me.
Okay, sure.
To use, oh, you guys writing. Okay, you need to do something, buy something. Wow, this is, sorry, I can't read. Yeah. Then I'm not so worried about you. Resisting to buy something, okay, that's our common problem. Food and drinks. Cat food, wow, you have a lot of cats. Okay, cat food. Sport pets. Wow, sounds like an SPCA person. Okay, I am too, okay. People borrowing money, people borrow money. It's very, very common. Okay, this is what I have to say about this issue. You go and borrow money from people. If people lend you the money, they are just being nice to you. But if they refuse to lend it to you, please don't get angry. Okay, this is very, very important. It's very basic or you know, reasonableness we should have, the quality that we should have in us. People want to borrow money from you. If you really cannot, just say no. Learn to say no. I think it's fine. But so when I have got these rules inside me, when I lend money, it's within my means. The only time I would borrow to lend, okay, is when the guy is critically ill. And whatever I'm doing is going to save his life. That is a different story. Okay? But if somebody wants to borrow money from me to buy something very nice for himself, I'll ask him to fly kite. Because I also want to look nice. Okay? I also want to look nice.
I've had this problem from friends who borrow money from me, but then they go to...
They just thought it was just...
Okay, there is something in China. In China, if you borrow from somebody, they put it in writing. They just take out a piece of paper to say, you so and so, you owe me this much, sign. Okay, I don't know how, can it be enforced in court?
WhatsApp you and keep that WhatsApp on the text.
Yeah. Yeah. So, some kind of evidence. Can it be enforced in court, Susan? Something like this? A text, a piece of paper. In China, you can. In China, you say, I owe so and so this much, and I promise to pay within one. I can actually take it to court and sue the firm. No, not really. You can't really enforce it. Stamp, yeah. Stamp. Okay. So, but in other countries, especially in China, you can actually do that. Okay. So you see, every time when I lend money to somebody, I lend the amount that I can afford to lose. If the guy asks for 500, you say, okay, you bought polo also, right? Hey, 500, I really can't. 100 can. 100 is within my comfort zone. So even if he or she doesn't pay me back, he's still a friend, you know? He's still a friend. But if 500, you lend 500 and you are paying full, if he or she doesn't pay, you will not be a friend anymore. So you lend to your, I mean, I'm digressing now. This is basically this is how I manage it. Okay. Of course, it's your money. Of course, it's okay to chase. But if you want the fella, you still want the fella to be a friend. Okay, do it very diplomatically. You look at him with teary eyes and say, I know you have problem. You look at me, I'm also damn susah now. Okay, can you please, instead of initially you help him, right? Now you turn it around and say, can you please help me by paying me back? make it sound like he's doing you a favor. Okay? Lack of discipline, okay? Discipline is something that I can't teach you. You just have to look at the benefit of being disciplined. And then draw the benefit, realize the benefit, visualize the benefit to encourage yourself. Okay, I already told you how to budget that thing already using credit card and all that. Okay, but it's up to you to enforce it. Majority. Buy, spend now, save later. Wow, there's a lot of doctors here. Can't resist when there is a sales, okay? When there is a sales, I tell you, these guys spend a lot of money studying your psychology, okay? You know what is called, there is a term called, subliminal marketing or something like that. Subliminal marketing. You drive along a highway, you see billboards, you know, the brand, just a brand, right? What is this? What is this supposed to do? You see, oh, Nike, you know, Adidas. When I drive to, yeah, When I drive to Sraman or whatever, I keep on seeing Zulian. Z-H-U-L-I-A-N. I don't know what the heck it is. Okay? You keep on bombarding, you know, you drive, let's say a 50 km, and you cannot bombard at least about 10, 20 times. Okay? But I don't know what it is. Until today, I still don't know. Okay? But it sticks in me, you know. Zulian. So one day, if I go to the shop, I see a Zulian Lianzu. Very likely I'm going to buy Zulian. Right? So these are subliminal marketing. Okay? So you just have to learn to resist it. It is attacking you at a subconscious level. You don't know, you don't realize it's already in your brain. So when you're at the critical point of making decision, you will sway in favor of the other brand. Okay? Those who are studying marketing will know. To invest, no idea about investment. Next time we do an investment course, the investment 101 kind of training, then it's a separate issue. There's a lot to learn in investment. Overspending, okay, I already told you, budget. Weak self-discipline, try meditation maybe. Impulsive purchasing, okay. Friends and family influence. You know what is my problem? I thought I way past that already. Okay, but now it's coming back. You know what is upsetting my 250 year? Friends getting married. I tell you the summons, the summons is massive. It's much more than traffic police. And because of phase, 100, 150, too little. You know, malu, we'll give 300, 500, right? Can you imagine every single wedding? Okay, for our Boomi friends, you guys are damn lucky. For Chinese, I mean, nowadays you go and attend one dinner. If you don't have 200 to 300 average, one wedding, you'll be quite malu. Next time you see the fellow will give you that look. Because they record everything down. Okay? So 1 month, I thought, you know, I already got kids, right? I've already gone past that age. All my peers are all married. If they're not married, they're probably not going to. Okay? And now all my colleagues are like, hey Steve, I want you to come to my wedding. 1 month you get like 3, 4 of these, my budget is totally blown. So going forward, I'm going to create a fund. It's called Saman Fund. Every month I take out probably, yeah, I set it aside. That one is just to pay Saman, so that it won't upset my other budgets. Okay. Yeah,
what if you can't save enough by the time the summons come?
God bless you. Okay. You know what I do in a situation like this? I know the summer is 300, right? I know the summer. Don't tell my colleagues. I know the summer is 300, okay? I just don't go. I don't go. I pack 100. Oh, so sorry that they clash with my don't know what. You give 100. You give 100, you don't.
But if you don't go, you RSVP, they won't include you.
Correct. Please RSVP.
RSVP, make sure that your friends know you're not coming, so that space is not wasted.
Correct.
Then on top of that, you give an angpao, is a token is there, so it's appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do that. Very important. Tell them I'm not coming. I can't. They always say I wish I can, but teaching them bad things. Yeah. You all agree or not? It can be quite a burden, you know. Yeah. And sometimes on the same day I got like 2, 3 invitations. So even if I don't go, right, of course I cannot go to all, right. One piece treat 100 is also 300. Okay. So this is a tip, right? when you get married next time, invitation is just one card. One card probably costs you 150. So just send it out. Okay, family influence and all that. Okay, family obligation. Okay, I don't know about the Malays. As to Chinese, we are very particular about this thing. So if people invite you, people give you face. So you would try to attend, but if you really cannot because of heavy burdens, okay, make sure you give an angbao, say very nicely, I really can. Because to them it's once in a lifetime, very joyous occasion. They would love to have you there. Okay, but we have limitations also. Okay, I'm going to stop this and come back to this. Who hates insurance salesmen? Any insurance salesman here? Okay. When insurance salesmen call you, trying to sell you something, they are doing you a very big favor. Okay? I'm not an insurance salesman, okay? But from young, my family is insured to the hilt. I mean, it's like, anything happened to them, left, right, center, anything happened to me, okay, they are all well taken care of. I have personally seen how accident, diseases, whatever, totally destroy a family. Okay, and for you to solve the problem, it's just a few $100 a month. Or sometimes if you're buying what you call it, accidental insurance, you know, that kind of stuff, it's only about $30 1 month to get yourself insured. Okay, but 9 out of 10 guys out there got the insurance concept totally wrong. Okay? What is insurance? Insurance is to protect you when you're not around, so that your offspring, your surviving partners, members of your family will continue to live on without sacrificing on the living standard. Not because you're not around, they can no longer go to Kentucky and KFC anymore. They will still go to KFC. Okay, how do you do that? That means the sum insured, when you are not around, the insurance pays you a sum. That sum, you put it in a bank to earn fixed deposit, will be equivalent to your income, your salary. So how do you do that? Let me show you. If you have, let's say, 5,000. If your salary is 5,000, you take home 5,000 every month, right? 5,000 times 12, 60,000, right? Right now, FD rate is about 3.5. Okay, divide by 0.035. To get that 5,000 a month, you need 1.7 million. So theoretically speaking, when the insurance agent asks you how much you want to be insured, you should be insured up to 1.7. Okay? And 1.7, is this possible or not? Of course it's possible, but it's very expensive. Okay? But most people out there, especially those who just started working, 3 years, 5 years, I ask them what's the sum insured. Okay, very likely it is so little that when you're not around, it doesn't help your family at all. Okay, when my first insurance policy was 50,000 sum insured, do what? I don't even service the insurance, the policy today, because what is 50,000? It's only good. It's only enough for funeral. That's all. After your funeral, your family members will be hunting for money. Okay? So this is just a yardstick. It has to be somewhere close to this, maybe not so high. Okay? It's probably beyond the scope of today's discussion. There is something called a term life. Rather than buying a life insurance, an endowment, you can buy something called a term life. That's got very high coverage, very high sum insured, but very low premium. You pay less. Okay? But the term life at the end of the tenure of the insurance policy, you get very little back. Okay? I'm not going to talk too much about this issue, but basically the concept of insurance is necessary. Okay? And medical expenses nowadays. You make sure if you're working, your employer will cover your medical. But if you're not working, you are lying around doing nothing, make sure you have some sort of medical policy with you. Okay? And what is insurance policy? It's something that when you need it, nobody wants to sell it to you. So when somebody approach you, talk, listen, hear them out. Because he's selling to you, because you don't need it now. But when you need it, you cannot buy. Nobody wants to sell to you already. Okay? So this is one thing you buy when you don't need it. Okay? Change your concept of insurance. It's different. It's to manage your risk. And who knows German wing is going to go down? Some freak pilot is going to run the plane down because he broke off with his girlfriend. Nobody knows this kind of thing, right? I mean, it's German, you know. Germany is a very advanced country. Freak accidents like that can happen. If you all know about German wings, right? The plane that went up. The fellow was, the co-pilot, the chief pilot was locked up. When he went to the toilet, he cannot get back in. Then when they realized it, he was trying to break the door with an axe. It's too late. It's only a few hundred meters away from the ground. Okay. So this kind of thing can happen. Of course, it's very, very slick, but it can happen. So buy it when you don't need it. When you need it, nobody wants to sell it to you. You're too high risk, or your premium is too high. You know. Yeah. If you are a kid, if you are very young, okay, it's debatable. Like for my kids, I will buy them, because they're not working, I'll buy them medical insurance. Okay? Don't ask me about which company now. I don't work for any company, so I can't represent them. For kids, you will buy medical insurance because even kids can get sick, you know, dengue and all that kind of stuff. So you don't want your hospital bill to run to a few thousand bucks and it's coming out from your own pocket. Okay. For adult, okay, if you're a young adult with family and you have kids, what we call dependent, make sure you have a term or life policy to cover your life. Right? When you're not around, you're still okay. Okay? What else? So you have your term, you have your life. Okay, the rest are all your fire insurance for the house, your house, house ownership insurance to be insured, your fridge, your TV and everything. Okay, if your house is broken in, you know, you've got insurance to cover. In Malaysia, I think it's already quite developed. In a very advanced country like Australia, US and all that, insurance is a big thing. Okay, nobody wants to go without insurance because they're very, very conscious about risk management. Okay, we are picking up. So don't turn away your insurance company, insurance salesman. Hear them out, see what they have to offer to you. Okay, because when you are really down and out, they are there. They should be there to take care of you. You need not necessarily need to die to enjoy the benefits of insurance. Okay, let's say you're permanently disabled. Okay, you lose an arm and leg and all that. They will pay you. Okay, to allow you to live a normal life. Oh, I way past my 4 o'clock.
Never mind, you still got time.
How much longer? Okay. Give me another 20 minutes. Okay, I just mentioned the sum insured thing already, right? So you need 5,000, 5 times 12, divide by what you're going to get from an FD. You will know roughly how much you need to get insured. I'm not going to go too much into this. This is about property. Okay, property, you always buy the property because of location. You don't buy property because it has got a swimming pool, because because this property is 50-story high and you like the high elevation, or we don't buy a property because it is or facilities. You buy property because of the location, because location cannot be replicated. Understand or not? People got money, they can build a swimming pool. Okay, and locality comes with the neighborhood. People pay top dollars for neighborhood, the right kind of people, not too rowdy. You know, people are like that. They try to group among themselves. The rich people will group among themselves. Okay, if you're not so rich, you live in the rich area, you also feel very uncomfortable. Everybody is driving a flashy car, but you're driving a lousy car, right? So that kind of pressure is very unnecessary on yourself. Okay? The saying goes like, live up to the Joneses. You know? So if you're not there, don't try to be there, because you exert a lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself. Then you start spending things just to look as good as them, but mess up all your finances. Okay? Those who are young, I know a lot of people make a lot of money from property over the last 3-5 years. I myself have got some investment here and there. Okay, but property, just like any other assets, can go up, can also come down. Okay, there is no fairy tale as in property prices keep on going up forever. Okay, I still remember 1997. I don't think you guys are old enough to remember Asian crisis. Okay, and anybody hang out in Sri Atamas, sold out, these kind of places. No, Sri Atamas. For the Sri Atamas shop houses today, it's probably 6 million, 5-6 million. Sri Atamas, those 4-story ones. This friend of mine, friend's friend, in 1997, I think he bought 2 units. Before 1997, the Asian crisis, he bought 2 units. I think he paid something like close to 2 million each. Okay. Crisis came, our country imposed capital control, not allowing money to go out and come in. He cannot rent out. He's ready. He almost moved into his shop house to stay. Okay, because the prices just not moving anyway. It was declining. Okay, no matter how prime the property is, when there is an economic crisis, prices will come down. Okay, don't listen to your property agent to say this area is very good. We keep on going up. No, there's nothing like that. Okay. Okay, if you're not thinking about retirement, it's because you're very young. Okay? I have already told you why you need to do it very, very early. What you have, I don't have much. What do you have that is a lot more than I do? Okay? You're a lot younger. If you allow time value of money to compounding to work in your favor, you should start thinking about your retirement and start investing today by doing the automated deduction. Even for 50, 100 bucks, do it. Start something very, very small and have the discipline. Okay? Set the motion and have the discipline to even put 50, 100 bucks. When you have the money, then slowly step it up higher. Okay? Should I tell you this? When I was in my late 20s and 30s, I was young, energetic and all that. I was working as a stockbroker. I used to drink until 3 a.m. At least about 2-3 times a week. Then the next morning, because I was a stockbroker, I got to wake up like 6-7 o'clock in the morning and get to work, get to the office, read through the results and brief my clients. Okay. I can do that at least about twice a week. Okay, as it's sleeping about 2-3 hours and still feel really, really fresh. But today, I sleep at 10:30, 11. I wake up around 6, 7. You know, this is something that you cannot fight. Your body, your metabolism, and all that. So when you're 55, you're 65, you're 60, you're 65, you may have a heart, you may have a lion heart, and limbs of a zebra or a leopard, but you just cannot move as fast. So when you are there, when you're like that, you make sure you have a lot of money in your bank account. If not, you're in trouble. Okay, if you go to Singapore, okay, you go into the McDonald's, KFCs, the Burger King and all that, what do you see? One scenario. A lot of old people are passing trays, you know, in the fast food restaurant in Singapore. Okay, because Singapore is such an expensive country to survive. A lot of these old people hasn't got enough, so they have to go out and work. Can you imagine you may be a diabetic, you may have heart problem and all that, and you have to bus trays in McDonald's. You don't want to be in that position. And to avoid to be in that position is very, very easy. Just start a plan and start contributing. And I've already showed you how powerful that 20 years is. The difference between 873 and 9 million. Okay? This is how valuable time is. So if you can start today, just put, even if you're not working, you just put 50, ask additional 50 from your parents, or 100, and then start putting aside, put your account B. For the time being, maybe put in account B for FD first, just for the discipline. Then when you have a few hundred or few thousand, slowly think about investing. Okay. We should talk about doing a session on investment. You know, that will be, we'll give them an investment concept. Yeah.
The best age to start is down.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
If you want to invest in financial instruments and you want to pay tuition fee, lose money as in is pay tuition fee, you do it now when you're very young. You don't lose a lot of money when you're 45. Why? It's very difficult to recover. You don't have a lot of time to recover. Right now, at 18, at 16, at 20, 21, you lose some money. Okay, by 25, you are back. You are back already. You can play the same game. Okay? So, yeah.
Even now I'm interested, but is that investment for small amounts? Not like 20,
100 bucks. 50 ringgit a month also can do it. Talk to my colleagues. No, unit trust. Yeah. Mutual funds. Our flagship fund has done 17% per annum for the last 30 years. Okay, 17%. Okay? When you invest, put your money in EPF or put your money in something called PRS, it's a new scheme, okay? Private retirement scheme. There is a locked-in mechanism, as in the money goes in, it cannot come out until you're 55. Why? So that you don't have to be subject to all the temptations. Okay? One new car, BMW, one new model comes up you want to buy because you've got 300,000 in your account. Right? There's one new Prada bag or whatever, you know, new model, you go and take the money out to go and spend. But when you grow older, 55, you have no money, you are holding your Prada bag. For what? You cannot eat your Prada bag, you know. Right? So, you must know your priority. Okay? You cannot eat your Prada bag. But whatever the $5,000 you forgo spending on the Prada bag today could possibly grow to 10,000 or 20,000, 20, 30 years. Okay? Okay, this is to solve your problem of not having enough money. Of course, there is no quick fix. Why am I standing here today talking to you and you're listening to me? Because you have a bunch of very responsible, very good people behind there, okay? Thinking of your future. But why did they ask me to talk rather than you? Huh? End of the road. My life has just started, you know. You know that, no? My life has just started, seriously, mentally. When I hit 50 this year, in September, I'm telling myself, everything I have, I put it aside, I start all over zero again with my life. I probably have a new mission, you know, new dogs, new cats, new cars, not new wives. I know you're thinking that. Oh, wife. Right. So why am I standing here? It's because I have accumulated, I have made myself a lot better than 20, 30 years ago. 20, 30 years ago, you wouldn't have asked me to talk to you, right? Who was I? Nobody. But today, okay, humbly, I'm a Chief Learning Officer, right? I have got a chief at the front and an officer at the back. Right? So that's why Surya, you know, asked me to come and talk to you. Because I've become more knowledgeable and more valuable, right? That's why you're listening to me. If I'm 25, you probably won't listen to me, right? So, okay, I'm not saying that I'm successful, not yet, okay? I just told you I'm going to start another journey at 50. So, whatever I've done before that, I think I've achieved my objective. I want to go for another journey, right? Okay? So, success is not measured by how much you have. Okay? Are all the rich people very successful? Yes, they are successful, but who are they? Success should be measured by who you are, not how much you have. Because if you are somebody, the money will come chasing after you already. It will come chasing after you. If you chase money, you will never be able to get money. You should make yourself so valuable that the money will chase you. So whatever you are doing today, on a Saturday, you know, your free time to learn about new things is itself a very move in the right direction. But you have to do more than that. You're going to ask yourself, there are 30 million population in Malaysia. Who are you? Where do you stand in the society? Okay, this 4 or 5 guys, okay, animated. You're going to ask yourself, why should people hire me to draw? Am I special or not? If you're not special, you better look up for something special. You know, you better start researching and make yourself special. Right? That's life. Where is your competitive advantage? Okay? And this is the only thing that nobody can take away from you. Yeah? If you drive a nice car, you know, it can be stolen away. If you have a nice house, you know, people can take it away from you. Land, your possessions, especially a nice handbag and all that. Okay, you know, Facebook, you all see the video. This old woman carrying a handbag and a motorbike just snatched the thing and, okay, I mean, your handbags can be taken just like that, together with your body, right? So the only thing that cannot be taken away is everything in your brain, the most valuable things. There are 4 ethnic groups, 4 kind of people, sorry, 3. They are extremely, extremely concerned. This is the top priority in whatever they do. Okay? The Jews, the Germans, and the Japanese. The last 2 are they have got a pretty patchy history. Okay, the Germans, the Nazis, and the Japanese. But if you read carefully how they bring up the kids, extremely disciplined. I tell you, it's like military. And you look at, we are driving German cars. Look at the Japs, the Japanese. Okay, they are doing very well. Of course, right now the Koreans are trying to take over. Okay, and all these countries, all these ethnic groups, has got one thing in common: discipline and education is number one. So don't be happy with the diploma in something or degree in something. Keep on learning. Push it. Make yourself valuable so that people will come and hire you. Okay? Make money chase after you, not the other way. Okay, I've already told you this already. So what are we learning from here? Revenue is your income. If this is not enough, you have to control your expenses so that you have a positive down here. If you keep on getting negative here, I can't help you. So to increase the revenue as an income, what do? I just mentioned it. Okay, you have to make yourself more valuable to increase your earning powers here. Increase your earning power, reduce your expenses, as in don't keep on upgrading your lifestyle. You get the positive here. When you get a positive here, you keep on plowing to your assets, and your assets keep on growing at that compounded rate, and you use very good debt to add more to your assets, you become a very, very high net worth guy in the end of the year, end of the day, right? Is it very, very simple, right? Yeah.
So, but what if, let's say, prices of things are going up? What if your salary never goes up? It remains the same. So then your expenditure will increase. So what happens then?
Your expenditure then? Yeah. We cannot control what is happening around us. Okay? As much as we want to. We can always control ourselves. So if somebody is driving, bang into your car or anything, you have a choice to get very angry, pick up a fight, and end up in the balai with this fella. Or you can choose to deal with the fella diplomatically to resolve the issue and still smile when you walk away from that scene. It's all up to you, okay? So when you look at, yes, I cannot, I have this much here, this part keep going up, this keep on coming down, what do you have to do? You have to increase this by enhancing your own value, as in taking more courses, learning up more skills, or you have to do part-time. Second job, maybe. But the second job should not be so taxing that it affects your entire well-being. Okay? So there's no two ways about it. You want to increase this, you either take on more jobs, look for a job that is higher income, or you have to keep on enhancing your own skills. If I did not enhance, okay, I graduated with a double major, accounting and finance. I wasn't happy with it. It was the toughest major in business school back then. After working for about 7-8 years, I took CFA. I just wanted to do it. When I took CFA, there was less than 100,000 CFA in the world. Okay, you know how difficult it is. It's very, very difficult. But I took it anyway. I finished it in 4 years. I flung once. Okay, level 3. Then after that, I took CFP. They offer a conversion course. I just have to attend a 1-week classroom instruction plus writing a paper. Okay, then I get my CFP. Until today, I still haven't gotten it certified. Okay, because I don't see much value in carrying the CFP title right now because it's not as prestigious as CFA. So if I carry the CFA, it's good enough. But if I need to, let's say, start an agency, I want to do business next time, I may need CFP, then I'll go and get myself certified. So I keep pushing more qualification into myself. Okay. If I don't have a CFP thing, maybe I may not have all these ideas to talk to you about financial planning. I learned it from CFP, all these things. You know, planning for my kids, planning for retirement and all that. You know. So you look at this formula, there is no two ways about it. You just have to do it. Okay? And we only have 30 million population to deal with. China got 1.3 billion. I got a few China friends here and there. I talk to them about things. Have you been to a job fair? Career fair? You go and Google a job fair in China, you look at the picture. You can't even walk, You think it has taken you a long time to look for a job. Over there it's worse. It's a lot worse. So, where you are in the society, where you stand, okay, you decide. You think through it, lock yourself in a room, think through it, where do you want to be? What skill set you need to acquire to make yourself different? Maybe a different language. I keep telling my kids, you better learn our language because language is the toughest thing to replicate. It takes easily 3 to 5 years to master a language. So if you start doing it right now, by the time you graduate, you know one more language that the other guy don't. If you happen to stumble upon a Japanese corporation wants a management training with knowledge of Japanese language, you are there already. You're better than the guy next door. You know, language is one of the toughest things to replicate. You can do a diploma, I really to learn up some programming skills, but language, it takes many years. So it's something that will set you apart. You know, I don't know, Arabic, you know, so that you can work in the Middle East next time in Dubai. Okay, this is, go back, do this, do one thing, do a balance sheet for yourself, do a bit of budgeting, see how much you are coming in, how much you are going out, how much is going out, how much balance you can put into some kind of savings and investment. Look at your liability and look at how much you're worth today. And give yourself a goal, 5 years, 10 years, how much I want to be, or I want to work. Okay? Yeah.
It's not mentioned career. What if I'm not sure, this is my career? Should I try, currently I'm in F&B, food, kitchen, the whole marketing, how to advertise. Should I jump to another industry? I'm not sure what I want.
If you like F&B, why do you want to jump?
I like it's very hard.
Everything is hard, everything is hard.
Coming from somebody.
The food, handling the food, you need to be.
Okay.
That part.
I shouldn't talk bad about my son.
My question, let me rephrase my question. Okay, if I'm not sure where my career is, like this is where I want to go, is it okay to jump into industries?
It's okay, but not for too long. Less than 5 years. Okay? I'll tell you about my son. When he was little, I started him off with piano. So he was learning piano because you look at the piano, it's interesting, he wants to learn. So I bought a $6,000 piano, he was learning. I think it got to about grade 2, grade 3. I played the guitar, so I played at home. So he saw my guitar, then he didn't say anything. Then I look at him and say, you want to learn? Yeah. Then I got to buy him a guitar. Then the piano set aside. Okay? Then I was learning guitar for a while, he was doing quite well. Even went on stage to perform with me in our annual dinner. Okay? And also bought him a $6,000 guitar. Okay? So he's sitting there right now. Then I brought him to a concert, Malaysian Philharmonic. Russian composer, fantastic pianist, and he was so inspired, he came back, said, Dad, I want to be a concert pianist. Then you know what he did? He loosened all the guitar string, chuck it in the box, push it under the bed, and say, Dad, enroll me to the best piano teacher in town. I said, what the heck? I already spent 12,000 on your instruments. Then he really was, you know, everyday practicing. Of course, it's not easy lah. In the history of Malaysia, since independence, I think Malaysia produced probably less than 5 concert pianists. Okay? Then never mind. Just this week, I brought him to Malaysian Philharmonic Youth Orchestra. Young chap just like you, 17, 18, 20-ish, while playing Tchaikovsky, all the good, profound music. Then after the thing, in the car driving back, I look at him. I say, Sean, it's also Sean. Sean, you never dreamt of playing in an orchestra. It's so nice. 100 old people, all good friends, playing, having the same interest. That actually I'm damn envious of them. Just this morning, yesterday, he texted me, Dad, I found a place to rent a violin. Oh my God. I said, make up your mind, what do you want to do? What? I mean, you cannot play 5 instruments at the same time, right? So, as in your case, decide fast. Because every time you jump from one to another, you keep on losing seniority and experience. As in your career also. Okay, I know you haven't decided what you want to do. I mean, these guys probably have decided already. But decide very early and just push all the way to the finishing line. Don't jump. Every time you jump, you lose seniority, you lose money. Experience is your money. Today, I can go out and say I've got 25 years of experience in financial services. I can do that. But if I've been doing F&B 5, been doing banking 5, insurance 5, maybe trading another 5, okay? You know what I'll get? I'll get 5 years experience kind of pay, one of them. I would not get my 25 years in financial services. You see the difference about it? I'll keep on getting the 5. How much 5? 5 is 5,000. 25 is maybe 25,000. Right? So don't take too long to decide what you want to do. Fiddle around in them after your college. Fiddle around with a few years. Quickly jump into something that you think will push to the finishing line. Then you'll be there. I see you at finishing line when you're 55. With 9.7 million. Okay, thanks. Thanks for your attention. I don't think I have anything else periodic budgeting. Yeah. Any questions? I'll stick around for maybe another 10 minutes if you have any questions. I'm talking about, yeah, I just told you, you have to increase your own value. You either have to work another job or you have to, yeah, it's your skill set. Who is going to hire you and pay you 3,000 or 6,000? There must be a reason. So you have to find that skill set. Otherwise, it will be 300 all the while, all the time. You see? You just have to enhance your own value. Yeah.